Weeks ago, Donald Trump threatened the, at that point, recently fired former head of the FBI, James Comey, with the possibility that Trump might have recorded their conversations. And he said this, James Comey better hope that there are no tapes, in quotation marks, of our conversations before he starts leaking to the press. And so it's been weeks now, and we've wanted to know, okay, so you're saying there might be recordings. If anyone would know, you would know. So are there recordings or not? And they've dragged it along, and they've dragged it along, and they haven't answered the questions until today when he tweets this. With all of the recently reported electronic surveillance, intercepts, unmasking, and illegal leaking of information, I have no idea whether there are tapes or recordings of my conversations with James Comey, but I did not make and do not have any such recordings. And so after it took you weeks to say I didn't press record on a tape recorder?
No, this is fishy. So everybody's reporting this as Trump finally admits that he made up the thing about the tapes. So that's tempting because Trump makes up things about almost everything, right? So okay, fair enough. And even if he is telling the truth, the full truth here, at a minimum, yes, he made up the thing about the tapes in order to what? Scare James Comey. Newt Gingrich says he was bluffing in order to get him to make sure that James Comey was being honest in public.
I remember when Bill Clinton under oath bluffed.
And a secret source from the White House talked to Bloomberg with the same exact talking points. They were just trying to get James Comey to be honest. That's not a leak. That's when you have a source from the White House that does pro-White House talking points, you're just putting out a statement in favor of the White House. Anyway, so the reason why I say be careful here is, it is very lawyerly. He says, with all of the electronic surveillance, etc., I have no idea whether there are tapes or recordings. So he didn't say they don't exist. He said, I have no idea whether there are tapes or recordings. And furthermore, he said, I did not make them and I do not have them. That doesn't mean they don't exist.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you actually take it literally, and the reason why that's important is if a lawyer helped him to craft it, he would say, okay, now don't say that they don't exist. Now, Donald, are they in your possession today? No. So you don't have them, do you? No. Did you press the record button, Donald? No, I didn't. So did you make them, Donald? No, I didn't. You did not make them. You do not have them. Now, Donald, do you know if today the person holding the tapes still has the tapes? I have no idea. Perfect. You have no idea whether those tapes exist or not. You didn't make them and you don't have them. Why don't you write that in a tweet, Donald? It sounds like a good idea.
It still would be interesting that he apparently for the first time ever has been that careful with a tweet. I don't think he's ever done it before.
That's exactly right. And that's the telltale sign, guys, which is Donald Trump is not this careful. He'll come in blundering like, tapes, I scissored them. I lit them on fire.
You mean cut them with a scissor.
Yes, please. Anyway, so for him to parse his words so carefully leads me to believe the tapes exist.
That's possible, yeah.
Yeah, so hold.
Also, I mean, the only thing I disagree with you on is that what that anonymous source said is just good for the White House. Because we know that an investigation is going on right now into obstruction of justice. While I'm not many things, I'm not a doctor, I'm also not a lawyer. Putting out a statement saying to someone who theoretically is going to be called in a court case against you that you better not hope I wasn't recording you, maybe you should or shouldn't say things, you can't just freely do that. I mean, that is witness intimidation. You can't do that. That theoretically, even if there are no tapes, whether there are tapes or there aren't tapes, the statements he already made, regardless of how he tries to finesse it later on, could be used in his court case over obstruction of justice.
So, John, the more you talk, the more I'm convinced there are tapes. And I'll tell you why. Because this is not just Trump tweeting in the middle of the night. This is a coordinated campaign. They leak to Bloomberg, they have Newt Gingrich go out, and now Trump tweets himself with a very carefully worded tweet. So, and in that effort, they are doing what you explained. They're basically admitting to witness intimidation. They're saying, well, we were bluffing to pressure Comey. That's witness intimidation. So, and it's not like you didn't talk to a lawyer, you obviously did talk to a lawyer. So why are you admitting that? it would only be to cover up something much worse.
Yeah, that's
which
true.
is that there are tapes, and you've listened to the tapes, and the tapes say, "Hey, James, cut it out already with the investigation. I'd like to obstruct that investigation." Right? So I don't know if we're the only ones saying it. Probably not, but we're among the few voices right now telling you, don't buy into the hype that there aren't tapes. This leads me to believe that there's more likely they have tapes, not less likely.
I know what you're thinking. Cenk, what do I get if I'm a Young Turks member? Well, I'm glad you asked. Not only do you get the whole 2-hour show on demand anytime you want, ad-free, but you get 6 podcasts on top. What are they? Join up, find out, they're amazing. You're gonna love these shows. TYTnetwork.com/join.